Welcome back, everyone, to our 2-minute drill. I'm your host, Gianna Forbis, here with Pack Pride editor Cory Smith. Cory, FanDuel just released NC State's total win odds this past week. It seems like it's at 8.5 right now after being at 6.5 last year and having 9 wins. Now with an 8.5, we're expected to have a little higher of an expectation. What do you think about these odds and what NC State can do with them this year?
Yeah, I definitely think it's reasonable because if you ask NC State fans right now, the mark is 9 wins. Like I think most NC State fans feel like 10 wins is reasonable as well because you look at the schedule for NC State. You start with Western, you go to a neutral site and play Tennessee, then you play Louisiana Tech, then you play Clemson on the road. You get your two toughest games out of the way early on. You figure out where this team stands coming out of those 4 games as well, and then you go home, you play, NIU, Wake Forest, Syracuse, and then you go to Cal before a bye week. Like this all looks like the most favorable schedule NC State has had under Dave Doran, with the exception of, the first few years where they really scheduled some cupcakes early on. You don't have that with Tennessee. And then you close out the season, Stanford and Duke at home, then Georgia Tech and UNC on the road, but you get a bye week before Georgia Tech. You play them on Thursday, so then you get 9 days to prepare for UNC. You pair all that with the fact that they bring in a transfer class that includes Grayson McCall at quarterback, Jordan Waters at running back. You have a new center along with Zeke Correll, along with 4 offensive line returning for NC State, and then a defense that gets guys like Davin Van back. You get Corey Coley that's added to that, Devin Boykin, Caden Fordham. So many guys that are coming back for this NC State team, along with that favorable schedule. I mean, 9 wins is probably the low mark for NC State if you slip up against one of those lesser opponents. But then, you have to feel like 10 wins is what this team is aiming for. So I'm definitely going with the over here. Now we'll see where injuries have this team by the time the season starts. So maybe don't, go to Vegas just yet, but that 8.5 win mark seems reasonable for NC State this year.